Today we're going to do a quick tutorial on variables with programming. If you looked at the notes from this lesson, you saw some examples of how to do it, but we're going to do a little live one here. So I'm going to start with integers. So if I want to declare an integer, that basically means that I'm just setting aside a place in the computer's memory that will only store integer numbers. So I'm going to use the word int to indicate that it's an integer. Notice it turns blue because it's a keyword, and I'm going to call it num1. So we've set aside a storage space called num1 that would store an integer value. Right now it's going to store a 0. It will default to 0 when I don't give it a value. But I'm going to go ahead and assign it a value now. So I'm going to say that num1 equals 8. So now num1 is storing the value 8, and anytime I want to go and I reuse num1, I'm going to get 8. So let's go ahead and do a system.out, and we're going to have it print num1. So one important thing I want you to notice is there's no quotes around this num1, unlike when we did output at the very beginning. When I don't put quotes around it, that means that it's actually going to print the value of the variable and not the word num1. So if I run it, you'll see that it's should print, once it runs, it's going to print the number 8. Now if I messed up and I put quotes around this and I run it again just so you can see the difference, it's not going to give me an 8 when it prints. Instead, it's literally going to print the word num1. So putting quotes around something means it's going to print what's inside the quotes. When I don't, it's looking for a variable. The other type of variable we have is one to store decimal values. And the one we are going to use is called a double. So double is used to store decimal values. So we'll call this one num2 and set it equal to 4.5. The other type, there's more than just doubles. Another common one is a float. So you might see that if you're doing your own looking around at code. They both store decimals. It just has to do with how big or small of a number they can store. But we're going to use doubles. So another double is double, we'll just say num3, and we're going to set that equal to 3.2. And now I can do math with those. I can print them, whatever. So let's just do some math. Let's say double sum, which is indicate we're probably going to add them together. And we're going to add together num2 plus num3. And just to check our work here, we would expect that when I add those together, that I should be getting the answer of 7.7 for the sum. So let's just go ahead and run it again. And we're going to see two outputs now. We're going to see the output for num1, which was 8, and then we're going to see the output of the sum, which is 7.7. And the neat thing is that at any time I can go up and change the value of num2 or num3, and all the rest of this would change accordingly. So if I were using num2 and num3, say 10 times in the program, it would, and all I'd have to do is change that value once and it would change the whole time. So like, just to show you another example, if I called this mult and I said num2 times num3, now instead of, let's say I don't want to use 4.5 anymore, instead of having to change it here and here, I only need to change it here, and it's going to change it throughout the rest of the program. So that's why variables are a pretty powerful thing in programming. We will eventually go on and learn a little bit more about variables and doing math with them, but this is a little starter on just how to declare them. You need the keyword and then the name and how to assign them values. We just use the equal sign, which in programming is an assignment operator, which basically means we're assigning it the value of 4.5.